We are pioneers and trailblazers. We fight for freedom. Our struggles become a nation. This is America, the story of us, the Christmas special.
At the end of the Civil War, the South was an economic disaster while the North was expanding on industry. So the victorious North had to decide how to reintegrate the rebellious states and ensure their return without being too lenient. They also had to decide the most effective way to integrate freedmen into society with things like the Freedmen's Bureau, which was essentially an early version of welfare, and the Civil Rights Acts of 1866 and 1875, which were very weak in practice but were supposed to guarantee their rights.
In the matter of readmittance, Lincoln's 10% plan, favoring quick and easy reentry with 10% of voters swearing an oath of loyalty, and the Wade-Davis bill, forcing 50% to swear a similar but harsher oath that they had never supported the Confederacy in the first place. Both included the provision that each state had to adopt the 13th Amendment, outlawing slavery entirely. Passed the Wade-Davis bill in both houses. Lincoln cleverly pocket vetoed it. You go, Abe Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Abe Lincoln, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Over the reinstatement of Southern states showed the clear differences between Lincoln and Congress. While Lincoln favored quick reacceptance, Congress focused on punishing the rebels, particularly its more radical members. Therefore, it didn't cause them too much distress when he was replaced by Andrew Johnson, someone known to be harsher on Southern traders.
Dismay of the radical Republicans, Johnson personally pardoned dozens of Confederate leaders in return for their support, basically reestablishing the political structure of the South before the war. Andrew Johnson, an extremely racist president, also refused to pass any laws that would help the freedmen, including the Civil Rights Act of 1866 and the charter of the Freedmen's Bureau. However, Congress passed them over his head anyway with a two-thirds majority in both houses.
The Civil Rights Act was a good first step toward rights for blacks, but Republicans feared that when Southern Democrats recovered their power in Congress, they'd be able to overturn it. Therefore, the 14th Amendment was passed in order to make all freedmen, and everyone born in the United States, citizens according to the Constitution, which is much more difficult than change than just a bill. Charles Sumner, the recently caned senator, bounced back in a shocking recovery and spearheaded the effort to pass the 14th Amendment.
It was soon followed by the 15th Amendment, disallowing the abridgment of suffrage based on race, color, or previous servitude for all men in the United States. There was, however, no provision for women's suffrage, even though women had taken a large role in promoting black rights. Finally, the Civil Rights Act of 1875 was passed in, 1875 to outlaw the denial of equal use of public transportation and establishments.
Despite all these efforts, the South still openly flouted the laws and instated state black codes, also called Jim Crow laws, which prevented blacks from voting based on grandfather clauses, literacy tests, and poll taxes, which were technically not illegal based on the 14th Amendment.
It was not the only thing preventing freedmen from taking advantage of their supposed equality. The law also ruled in favor of Southern whites in Plessy versus Ferguson, where they ruled separate but equal facilities constitutional and made segregation legal. Needless to say, the status was not quo.
An unbalanced agreement was reached after Booker T. Washington, a leading black rights supporter, gave his Atlanta Compromise speech. The leaders of the freed blacks and those of the white Southerners agreed that as long as freedmen didn't ask for rights, justice, or equality of any sort, the South would fund their education.
One may be surprised that the South was allowed to blatantly disregard the 14th and 15th Amendments, but at the time, there was no Northern ability to enforce them. The Compromise of 1877 had removed all Union troops from the South and officially ended Reconstruction, so without the presence of soldiers, the Southern whites just did whatever floated their boats.
The Compromise of 1877 also highlighted the corruption present in the so-called Gilded Age. Called the Corrupt Bargain Part 2, it gave Rutherford B. Hayes the presidency in return for the appointment of Democrats into the cabinet and with the withdrawal of troops.
A well-known example of corruption within the federal government was the Credit Mobilier scandal, in which the government created a railroad company and then hired themselves to build a railroad at whatever prices they wanted. The perpetrators, including future President James Garfield, then paid off congressmen to stay quiet about it while they made lots of money.
Why is the camera on me? This isn't in my contract. It's not my turn yet. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Experts aside, Reconstruction and the Gilded Age were not some of America's proudest moments. We made a bunch of promises that we didn't even try to keep and lied about them. Oh wait, we still do that? Oh yeah, we still do that. But afterward, we move westward, something that we can no longer do without building on the ocean. I mean, that'd be pretty cool, but yeah.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell.